Peace Collective. What's going on? Welcome to the channel. My name is Milan. I am an intuitive tarot reader and psychic medium. If you guys are new here to this channel, welcome. If you guys are returning, welcome back. It means the world to me each and every single time you guys join. Thank you guys times 1,000 for being here and for deciding to spend your time and your energy here with me in these readings. As you guys know, this is going to be another general collective reading. However, we're going to get into another deep dive today. As you can tell by the title, we're going to look into the energy around Drake, Adin Ross, and this seemingly out of nowhere RICO lawsuit that involves Drake and Adin Ross and the gambling company Stake that Drake highly promotes. If you guys are ever interested in readings that look more into the music business, entertainment industry, celebrity culture, I've got an entire playlist already curated. It's called the Deep Dive Series. That's where you guys can find more readings just like this one. We do live streams every once in a while on this channel. I do love readings. I offer personals. If you guys are ever interested in a personal, all the information is going to be in the description box down below like always. Just as a quick disclaimer, you guys, this is not a fan page, this is not a stan page, or anything of the sort. Everything in this reading is alleged until proven otherwise and for entertainment purposes only, okay? If you guys don't like what I'm saying, you don't like the subject matter today, it's totally fine. Just click off the reading. It's no big deal. If you guys don't have anything nice or constructive to add to the reading, all I do ask is that you guys keep it cute in the comments, okay, and keep it respectful with me and with other people if you do decide to jump in the comments, okay? But yeah, make sure you guys leave a like on the video. It's absolutely free. If you guys do like the vibes here on the channel, share if you care, subscribe. I would love to have y'all here, part of the family, okay? So we're gonna get right into this. I have a King of Swords to represent Adin Ross. As you guys know, he's a really popular streamer. I personally don't follow any of those streamer guys. I did a reading on CASHAPP a couple of days ago. But Adin Ross is another really big popular streamer out there these days. I believe he's on like Twitch or Kick, something like that. But I have the King of Swords to represent him, being that he's a Libra. And then I have the King of Cups here to represent Drake, being that he is a Scorpio. If you guys are familiar with my channel, then you guys know I am not the biggest fan of tapping into Drake's energy. It's not a great place to be, but here he is, okay? So I'm not necessarily going to see like how they feel about one another. I think it's kind of obvious that they're, pretty cool with one another. But I just want to see how they're feeling at this time in regards to being two very focal points when it comes to this lawsuit with Stake. Now, I personally didn't read the lawsuit. However, if I'm not mistaken, I believe they are, well, Stake, the gambling company, is being investigated or, again, being sued for a federal crime, a RICO charge, essentially. So racketeering. I'm not sure exactly of all the details. If somebody wants to clarify the details in the comments, please feel free. Thank you ahead of time. But we're going to get right into this. So we're going to start with Adin Ross. Okay, we're going to get his energy, just how he may be feeling about this lawsuit or Stake in general. Then we'll get the collective energy when it comes to Stake and what to expect with that once we get through Drake and Adin, okay? So if somebody wants to timestamp, you're more than welcome. We'll start with Adin. We're going to use a couple of oracle cards. Then we'll switch over to Drake. And then we'll switch up decks. And we'll clarify with some tarot a little bit later, you guys. Okay? Let's see. This is most concise energy when it comes to Adin Ross at this time. And it's funny because the way I have the cards laid out on the table, the King of Swords and the King of Cups, they're looking completely away from one another. So these two may be trying to, I'm hearing the word disassociate from one another, or I guess you can say keep their distance in a way for now as this is going on in the background. But let's start with Adin, please. How is he feeling at this time when it comes to this lawsuit with Stake, or what is his current energy like at this time? And please don't mind my allergies, you guys. My allergies have been on 10 since I got up, so if my nose sounds a little nasally, I apologize, okay? We have wishful thinking showing up already. It says second chance, deja vu, and nostalgia. So having wishful thinking, I'm not surprised to see that, to be honest with you. Adin has got some very powerful lawyers, the same way that Drake has some very powerful lawyers. So, and he's got, money that goes the long way to fight this in court. Now, a federal racketeering case, that's probably an arm and a leg and a head for real, right? Money wise, but I do feel like they're not too, well, at least Adin is not too concerned about that part. But the federal government, that's no joke, okay? Second chance, deja vu, and nostalgia. And something is deja vu, that kind of means you've been there before, it's familiar. It feels like you've seen this exact moment happen already. So this may not be his first merry-go-round, or this may not be the last merry-go-round, I should say. But let's see, how's he feeling when it comes to this stake lawsuit? Current energy in general, please. Wow, okay, so here it is. Look, waves, emotions, worry, and fear. So I was just saying, like, he may not be too worried. However, a charge by the federal government, a lawsuit, or again, a federal RICO situation is not a game, That's not just, so-and-so said X, Y, and Z that you did this and then you just settle. This is not that. So, yeah. Obviously, you still have some worries because you're not exactly sure how it's going to go until you show up. I'm not sure when the court date or court hearing is regarding that. But yeah, he's hoping, obviously, that this kind of just disappears in a way. But I do see a little bit of fear and worry here. Okay, why is this here, please? Why is here? Oh, wow. Okay. Psychopath? It says abusive, conniving, and unpredictable. Now, I don't really watch these streamer guys. I've never seen a full live stream with Adin Ross, the Kai Cenat, or anything, but certain clips that I have seen or heard with Adin Ross, I mean, he's got a bit of a sharp tongue. I mean, he doesn't really seem to be like the nicest guy for real. Obviously, I don't know him personally, but just from what I've seen and heard, he doesn't really seem like the nicest, okay? And he's had some very choice words to say about Doechii. I'm not here to defend Doechii or anything, but I'm just like, bro, like, settle down, okay? If I'm not mistaken, I think Adin and Joe Budden have like this weird back and forth thing that they do. They don't like each other or something, but I feel like Adin Ross is like one of those like really young kids, or not young kid. He's like, what, 25, 26, so he's old enough to know better, but I feel like he's one of those guys where it's like the money and power, or maybe even the people he's connected to, may kind of go to his head a little bit. It's just giving me like a disrespectful kid you just want to like spray some Raid on or something. I don't know. But I do feel like maybe with this psychopath and abusive, conniving, and unpredictable, obviously, he's having wishful thinking or hoping that things go his way, but he's not sure how it could go. Because again, this is not just, some girl from 10 years ago said this, that, and the third, and you just settle behind the scenes. This guy's makeup kind of looks like the Joker. You know how sometimes when you're going through something very pressurizing or something that feels very heavy, it almost makes it feel like pressure that's going to burst a pipe. That's kind of what this is giving me. Like, he may be cool, calm, and collected right now, or again, wishful thinking, but I feel like there's something brewing here in the background, or maybe there's some type of conversations with the lawyers that is making him feel like a pipe that's about to burst under pressure. And some people, when they burst under pressure, they may, act erratically, overreact very emotionally, maybe start spazzing and snapping on people around them. That's the energy I'm getting with this, you guys, okay? Allegedly, entertainment purposes only. Okay, but let's see. Why is this here, please? When it comes to stake in this lawsuit, how's he feeling at this time? Ooh. How's he feeling at this time, please? Wow, yeah, exhausted. Okay, so it says burned out, burdened, and empty. I know y'all seen me shuffle, but before I even shuffled and this card came out, didn't I just say how it feels like pressure that's about to make a pipe burst? And when you have a lot of pressure under you, feeling burdened, you can't make this up. And I feel like feeling too much pressure, or again, maybe what he's hearing from the lawyers, and maybe, because, you know, lawyers got to be honest with you. It's like, things can go this way or they can go that way, but it's not looking too good right now. That's the energy I'm getting from this, and it could be making him feel a little burdened, obviously, right? Causing him to react emotionally with people around him, possibly, allegedly. You know, again, I already feel like he's not always the nicest person, but I feel like maybe he's like snapping on staff or a little more short-tempered than he usually is. Maybe having a hard time sleeping with this exhausted card here, because this is serious. And then you've got a multi-million-dollar company that's worth twice as much as Drake and Adin Ross that's involved in this. So it's like, if they can't, you know, skate out of this, how are Drake and Adin Ross supposed to skate out of this? If I'm not mistaken, I believe Drake and Adin Ross both promote the gambling app Stake. Okay, it's STAKE on their platforms very heavily. And I find it interesting. It's like, don't you guys have like, well, at least Adin, don't you have like young followers? You have young fans. Like, why are you promoting gambling, which can literally ruin people's lives, to a young audience like that? Like, if I'm not mistaken, I believe on Kick you can stream live gambling. So these two must be getting paid a lot of money from this company Stake. And if I'm not mistaken, if I have this correct, somebody please correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe with Stake, it's like you can transfer funds into the app, but it turns into some type of coins. It's almost like Chuck E. Cheese coins or Monopoly coins versus like your quote unquote real money. But then when you transfer those quote unquote tokens or coins into real money, it can then be obviously, you know, removed from the account and transferred into real money. But I think that was the loophole that Stake had created to get some, I guess, to be able to perform on certain platforms. They had to not use real money but tokens. So there's something with that, like the currency that's being used on the app, I feel like is a problem. Yeah, and look, you got recharge and then legal. Breathe, let go, clear your mind. So I just told you guys, I feel like he's talking back and forth with his lawyers, but they could be telling him things that don't sound so great or something he doesn't want to hear. You know, it says breathe, let go, clear your mind. Maybe trying to encourage somebody to relax. We got this, we got this. Yeah, continuous cycles, bad decisions. Yep. So they could be trying to, mentorship, giving back. They're trying to tell him, like, listen, man, this is not looking too hot. He could have been told by his lawyers to maybe stop doing the Stake thing, or maybe to create distance with Stake with this nurturing wisdom energy. But again, continuous cycles, bad decisions, addictions. Gambling can literally be an addiction, and I think it's obvious with Drake. He's got some type of gambling addiction that's come up with him before in my readings. Okay. And they're like, you got to let this go. You know, you should have been let this go with them, or got out of the deal, bought yourself out of the contract with them, or not reinstated the contract with them. Something to that degree, okay? But again, these people are hard-headed, you know? They let all this money and power and their connections get to their head, and it's like, you know, well, I heard you, but I'm not going to listen. It's kind of what I'm getting from this, you know? Give me 1 second, guys. Hold on a minute. Okay, sorry, guys. But let's go to Drake. We're going to get a couple of these for him, okay? We're going to use the same deck. And how is he feeling at this time? Please and thank you. When it comes to this lawsuit with Stake, please and thank you. What's his current energy, please? Established. This guy, oh jeez, you got hopeless here, and you've established. I feel like I say this a lot in these deep dives. It's like, no matter how much money these people have, you know, millions on millions on millions. It's like they still be going through stuff emotionally, behind the scenes, mentally. Okay, established, yes, secure, wealthy, settled. But I think as far as this lawsuit goes, you know, again, him and Adin, they have the money to go the long way with this. However, it's like nobody wants to spend like millions of dollars in lawyer fees to go to fight a RICO fucking case. And Drake, he didn't necessarily, I don't want to say he beat the UMG case, but the case got thrown out. So it's like when I was doing readings with him and UMG in a Universal Music Group from the whole Not Like Us thing, he was always very concerned and paranoid about that situation. But it makes sense because, you know, being worried and paranoid about lawsuits, that was just one. Then you got this one that came out pretty much right after that, it seems like. So this hopeless energy, feeling like kind of depressed or at a loss, especially financially, or at least he's anticipating to lose a lot financially with this, allegedly. But he could be, you know, obviously a little stressed out with this or feeling some type of way, like, damn, again, like more lawyer fees or something. Like, this is massive, you know. But taking UMG to court was not fucking cheap, okay? So if this is not going to be any better, it's kind of what it feels like, at least not financially, you know. Okay, why is this here, please? And he made a lot of money with Stake. It's kind of giving, like, he was already secure, obviously, but this was like a whole nother bag. Just, wow. Especially in the midst of him maybe renegotiating with UMG, trying to get a better deal, this, that, and the third, you know. Yeah, today, good vibes now and in the moment. Then you have clingy, old exes, dead relationships and old ways. So that's why I feel like maybe with this, like with him and Adin, again, I feel like they've kind of had to distance themselves from each other, or that's just maybe what their teams have told them to do. Granted, the relationship is already established, so it's like, what is that supposed to do? But yeah, looks like he enjoyed his time with Adin though. Like they've had good times together, good vibes now and in the moment. And it's so funny because the girl, well, the woman on this card, she kind of looks like Sandra, Drake's mom, a little bit. Yeah, but this stuff, this is like stuff popping back up from the past. Okay, what is this? It's not necessarily like literally giving me an X, but an old door that maybe he thought was closed, that he never had to touch again. Oh, everything's cool. I'm locked in with them, essentially, with Stake, is what it feels like, being locked in with them. But I feel like the doors or the keys are going to unlock these locks to this door, and there's a whole lot of skeletons behind the door or something. Maybe more so the skeletons behind the doors of Stake, and now you've just got Adin, Ross, and Drake in the crosshairs, like two deers in headlights, you know. So yeah, what is this? Envy. Wow, okay. Resentful, competitive, discontent. I've been seeing this card quite often with these damn celebrities. And you got burned bridges. Yep. Lack of trust, disloyal, and turned your back on. So as far as like with him and Stake, it's obviously, you know, trying to burn the bridges now or cut the disconnect now. It's a little too late because it's like once the feds or there's a RICO charge against you, they've already had what they needed. So it's like doing all the extra stuff is not gonna help. Like they already have the information that they need if that's the case, you know. But let's see, you have envy here again, resentful, competitive, discontent. I don't really necessarily feel him being envious towards anything or anybody in this situation, but some resentment, yeah. Living in the moment here. I feel like he didn't think about this too much, to be honest. I don't think he thought hard enough about this. Of course, I'm sure his lawyers spoke to him and probably gave him advice before signing like they would anything else. But I feel like he was a little too worried about the bag or the money and the fact that he just likes to gamble. So it kind of just made perfect sense for him. Competitive, discontent, family. And that's the thing with Drake. He always thinks the people that he works with are his family. Like, I get it. Like, that sounds nice and, you know, all dandy or whatever. But this is like business, Drake. And look at this. What did I just say? Legal. The lawyers may have tried to advise him on this, but it made sense for him. So I just you gotta chill, because Drake, none of these people are not your friends. They're not your family. UMG, just because you've been there for so many years and they've been paying you a lot, doesn't make them your family or your friends. Like, this is business. This is paperwork. Same thing. Thrills. Continuous cycles, bad decisions, and addiction showing up here. So I feel like with both of these guys, if they were probably warned or something to that degree, it's like they were told maybe the consequences or the possibility of what could happen, and it's just like, this is too good to pass up is kind of the energy I'm getting from this, you know. Why is it here, please? Intimacy, mutual respect, unity, and closeness. Yeah, and look at this. Didn't I just say, like, the consequences? He wasn't really thinking about that. Bad choices, games, and mixed signals. Oh, boy, yeah, that's what you get for being greedy. The lust card here, you know, greed for money by any means necessary. Yeah, then you have intimacy here. Yeah, and he's always thinking, again, it's like people are close to you because you're close to Tommy at the fucking front desk of steak or whatever. Doesn't mean that you're these people's family, man. The same energy came up with him in UMG. And now you're salty, bitter, angry, and petty. Like, come on, man. Look, narcissist. Egotistical. Very fragile ego on top of that. So, yeah, let's see. We're getting into another deck. We use the Panther Oracle, okay? Give me 1 second. Hold on, guys. Okay, my bad. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to get through this reading. My allergies are driving me nuts. And I feel like that's a symptom when I'm channeling during readings. It's like if the information is really good or I'm about to get into something important. That happens a lot. Even in just my general readings, not even talking about deep dives or anything. Like, my eyes will water, my nose will start to get really stuffy. Like, yes, I have allergies, but I was perfectly fine before I started recording. So, I mean, it's annoying, but that tends to happen. But anyway, we're going to go back to Adin. Again, I had wishful thinking here for him, feeling worried, not knowing, obviously, what direction this could go in or how long this could drag on. I feel like this is somebody who's feeling very tired and burned out or stressed out with the situation. And I feel like, you know, he's not feeling like himself. I see this kind of like being very emotionally taxing to maybe to the point where he's like snapping on other people around him, or it's more of like a short temper, short fuse, because it's very like high stakes. You're not exactly sure where this is going to go. A lot of money is going to be involved in this. So yeah, let's see. What is his current energy at this time when it comes to this lawsuit with state, please? Reservation. Okay, the number 29. Desire, worth, and extravagance. Yeah, so him and Drake both like the nice shiny things, obviously. He thought it was worth it, like having this deal with stake. Like, obviously he thought it was worth it. It was worth the money. All he had to do was just incorporate it with what he was already doing, which was streaming. So it was very easy for him. Let's see, what is this? They could have gifted him something. I don't know if Stake like gifted him. Obviously they give him money, but I feel like they could have given him like a gift, like a token, like a car, or I don't know, something like that. I don't know why it's coming through like that, but let's see. Ah, you got curse showing up here. So he could feel like he's cursed. Like, Wow, interesting. I never should have accepted that gift. I never should have accepted the bonus or signed a new deal with them or something. Hate, catastrophe, and misfortune. So, and it doesn't have to make it true just because you feel something, doesn't have to make it true. But he really feels like he's he's experiencing or he's about to experience some type of misfortune here. He could feel like he's cursed. Literally, when again you feel very burdened, like you're under a lot of pressure that's about to burst a pipe. Everything's kind of just falling apart slowly but surely. It could feel like, someone may say like, damn, am I cursed or something? So yeah, interesting. Yeah, there could be a lot of like some other things going left field for him, like family stuff. I don't know if he's got a girlfriend or a wife, but certain things could be kind of like falling apart at the seams one by him for him. So it's like you look to the left, something's fucked up. You look to the right, something else is falling apart, and it just seems to be like nonstop. Imagination, variety, fantasy, and mind. So he could be trying to figure out how to like get into other ventures because the little boy here, if someone has an imagination, they have a lot of different creative ideas possibly. So you have a lot of different options to choose from with these toys he's playing with. So Adin could have a lot of different ideas or different ventures that he wants to focus on or that he would like to work on instead and turn his attention away to or towards. But they could be like at a halt right now. Those other business ventures, creative ideas, they could be at a bit of a halt or at a standstill. It's like trying to invest your money into other things. Yeah, he's worried, fright. And the girl looks like she's sitting in like a cell or like some type of asylum. Okay, it says depression, paranoid, and phobia. Wow. Overload, you can't make this up. I've been saying this for Adin for the last 20 minutes, like feeling very burdened, stressed out, overwhelmed. And it looks like a bunch of court paperwork. His lawyers are probably burnt the fuck out too. Like, this is a lot. And I just heard, like, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me? So it's like him and his lawyers, again, they could be going back and forth. So there was something that he got or received or that he did, and his lawyers didn't know about it. Or they're just now finding out. And then look, yeah, the creative ideas, he's not going to be able to do a lot of that stuff right now. It's all paused, stagnated. And I feel like something here happened where he didn't tell the lawyers. Or the lawyers are just finding out last minute and it's not helping. Okay? Wow. That might be why they're telling him things that he doesn't want to hear right now. That's not good. And I said that earlier, like, you got to be honest with the lawyer. And the lawyer has to be honest with you. But if you're not going to be honest, they can't help you, Oh, what's this? Indulgence, yeah. The number 47, interaction, joy, and friendliness. So, yeah, I'm hearing throw it in the bag. I think that's a song by like The Dream and Fabulous. Throw it in the bag. Oh, that song, just throw it in the bag. It's what I'm hearing. He thought he had something in the bag here. Yeah, he thought shit was cool. Peaches and cream is kind of what it's giving. Maybe because something was under the table. Maybe because something was under the table, quote unquote. Or like I mentioned earlier with steak, they make you transfer your currency, your dollar, whatever it is you're using, into tokens or some type of coins on the app. So I feel like there's something weird or funny with that's not legal maybe here in America, because if I'm not mistaken, I think steak is out in Australia. Okay. Shout out to Australia, but obviously their laws are going to be different than ours here in America and where Drake is at in Canada. So it's giving Interpol, like international police. And he indulged a little bit too much in this and thinking everything was sweet, and the whole time this company is being investigated. Yeah, hesitation, stubborn. That's what you get for not listening. Say not listening to your intuition for one, and not listening to the people you pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to advise you legally. Why are you not listening to them? Damn, you know, kind of reminds me of freaking Megan Thee Stallion. It's like, what's the point of having all these fucking lawyers that obviously know the law better than you do to advise you with the law, and then you don't fucking listen, or you keep trying to push. Like, that just very stubborn. But let's go to Drake, okay? He's feeling very discontent. Again, he's in this energy of, again, I thought these people were my friends. I thought these people were my family. You know, I don't see him being as worried about money as maybe Adin Ross here. But, you know, again, with this living in the moment, today energy, envy, resentful, competitive, discontent. I don't get resentment from him, but it's coming through more of like just being discontent with the relationship that was created. Okay, that he lended himself to. Nobody could force you to do these things. You lended yourself to this. Wow, we got a ritual and an accident at the bottom. Interesting. I'm not going to stay on that, but what is kind of energy like when it comes to this lawsuit? Marriage. Okay, there goes the contract. Obviously, we know Drake is not married. This has nothing to do with like a relationship, but when you think of marriage, it's a contract between two people and the government. So, sweet love, couple, dependency. What's up with him? And then you have the intimacy card. You have mutual respect. Like, that's the thing with Drake, too. It's like, he thinks people like him more than they actually like him. I got the same vibe with him and UMG as well. Like, just because you get money from these people, or they say, hey, what's up, when you walk in the office and smile in your face, doesn't mean that they actually like you, Drake. Hello. Okay, he's still in a contract with them, it looks like, with Stake. With this marriage clause here. Stubborn. So they both got this energy to show up for them. Selfness, mullish attitude, and arrogance. Not listening. Yeah. And maybe not even listening to your intuition. Drake is a Scorpio. And I believe he has a Cancer moon. So it's like with a Scorpio sun and a Cancer moon, like you shouldn't be listening to anything else besides your intuition, for real. And if you don't do that, you will be, you know, in a world of trouble, regardless of what the topic or situation is. Someone like Drake needs to listen to his intuition, but he just doesn't. And the intuition could be blocked by, you know, all those fucking spritzers and all that alcohol you be drinking, the gambling, the toxic women and all that stuff. So, yeah, look, now you're fucking trapped. You're stuck in a contract. Now look at you. Victim, allure, and trick. Why is this here, please? Strategy, planning, prediction, and mind reading. So he's trying to strategize on a way to how to get out of this or persevere out of this. Okay, you know, money can go a long way, but again, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is federal. So they already got everything that they need. Like, there's only so much strategizing and jumping through hoops you can do when the federal government has like a 98% conviction rate, if I'm not mistaken. Not saying that these two are going to jail. I'm not saying that. However, yeah, trying to strategize how to persevere out of court with the justice card. But it's coming through like money can only buy you so much. It's kind of how it's coming through. Like, money can only buy you so much. And that might be his strategy. Or using his personal relationships. But I'm telling you, like, these people don't really like you like that, Drake. They're not going to lose their livelihoods for you, is what I'm getting with this. Huh. Wow. Look at this. Homeless. Okay, obviously Drake is not going fucking homeless or anything like that, okay? But feeling very desolate, left out in the cold, or your money is not where it should be or where it used to be, where you're used to it being, or again, going out, paying out hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars for these lawyers. Failure, castaway, and poor. So it's like, you know, this strategy you're trying to do is going to leave you fucking broke, or you're going to realize how these people really don't fuck with you for real, okay? Like, you thought that they do. Whoever these people are, you think you have these close relationships with. Yeah, look at this. You got to promise. It's like, I promise I will give you this. I will give you that. If we beat this case, just for it to not fucking work. You know, just like everybody was so gung-ho he was going to win that UMG case, and the shit got thrown out. So his lawyers could have came a lot better with that UMG case, I'm going to be honest. They could have came out a lot better with that. They could have came harder, but that's neither here or there. But yeah, Drake is feeling like maybe his strategies are not working the way they used to. You know, he can be worried about that. Promise. Again, these people you're trying to make promises to or make alliances with. You've got introvert maybe ignoring you, or it doesn't hit the same. Privacy, separate, online community, and he be seeing what people say online about him and about this situation. Memory and withdrawal. You can't make this up. People are walking away from you, not wanting to deal with you, or again, not willing to sacrifice their livelihoods just because you're Drake. You know? Wow, yeah, so interesting. This is what you get for not fucking listening though, for both, I'm sorry, with both of them. Adin and Drake. It's like they thought they had this in the bag. And again, with this marriage, this contract energy, thinking that everything's sweet and peaches and cream, you got it locked down in the bag. I told you, he thought he's locked in with them. Like now you're locked into a damn lawsuit. And maybe they're just, honestly, I will say this because the media, you know, they have media tactics, but I wouldn't be surprised if there are other people mentioned in it. But I think these two power players, Drake and Adin Ross, you know, that's a headline grab. So not to say that they're absolved of anything, but they're not the only people, is what I'm getting as well. They just probably got paid the most, had the most exposure. And yeah, so it's like they're the bigger names with this outside of Stake as a whole company. Yeah. They are like the big power players, and they are very vocal about their connection with Stake. So, I mean, they're both not really looking or feeling too hot, if I'm going to be honest with you guys. Okay, I'm going to get some of these true crime cards and see just what the energy is like overall with Stake. Okay, because obviously this is a criminal case going on of RICO. So, and RICO is like a racketeering. So, let's see, what is this energy, please, with Stake, the gambling company, Drake and Adin Ross, please. Dating, okay, you have dating showing up. Now this could just be, again, kind of like the marriage card, a relationship between two or multiple people, right? Why is this here, please? Hold on. These look like actors that look familiar. Kind of looks, the girl, I know y'all can't see it because it looks like a shadow, but she kind of looks like Cersei from fucking Game of Thrones. She was a bitch, man. Cersei was crazy. If y'all know Game of Thrones, then you know, but she was something else. She was conniving and just manipulative, and oh my gosh, she was something else. Okay, what is this energy with Stake, please, and thank you? I think they're involved in some other stuff. I don't even want to say what it is that I'm hearing right now because it has nothing to do with gambling, you guys. Okay, I'm going to show y'all this. Abuse and neglect just showed up. Okay, I know y'all are so smart. I know a lot of y'all are intuitives yourselves. Okay, but connect with me on this, you guys. Like I just said, a lot of these celebrities and these high power people, they get their money, yes, from music, TV, movies, but they get their money in other ways too. And like I just said, this company Stake, I believe, is based out in Australia. And that's where they started. I feel like they're involved in some other things that's not just gambling, that requires movement or traveling, not just across state lines, but across countries, that may have to do with this abuse, neglect energy, allegedly, entertainment purposes only. Please, you guys can do the math on that, because I don't want to put that energy out there, but that's really how it's feeling right now. Like, I've been in this deck for maybe 2 minutes and I'm already feeling it. It's not just gambling. Okay, look at this. And you have travel at the bottom. Didn't I just say something to do moving across state lines or across countries? And look, you've got the intuition at the bottom. Not following your intuition for both of these people has landed them in a shit ton of trouble. What is this current energy, please, when it comes to state? Drake and Adin Ross, please. Male. Okay, is a male showing up? We're talking about two different men here. Party in reverse. Okay, why is this here? And you only see one eye on this guy. So there's a lot of stuff like in the shadows happening right now that, you know, could be exposed through this lawsuit. I mentioned that earlier, like Stake, maybe not so much Drake and Adin Ross, but I feel like Stake, they could have some skeletons in a closet here that are about to come out because of this. I think Drake has a lot of skeletons in his closet too, but it's not just about Drake. So, wow, justice. There goes the court energy. Yep. Damn, somebody here may really get hemmed up. Oh, fuck. Wow, wow, wow. This is what confirmation. Okay. Oh, fuck. You got child at the bottom. You guys, you can rewind it if you need to, but y'all heard what I just said. I was like, I feel like there is something so much more here than it's not just gambling. Wow. And you've got cleanup. And then look, celebrity at the bottom. You got, I guess Adin Ross is quote unquote a celebrity, a streamer celebrity. Drake is the biggest celebrity. Clean up, which would be kind of like a cover up or trying to, you know, clean up something, okay? Make it seem like it didn't happen or it didn't exist. I don't like this. Okay, what is this? Affair. And then you have beach. Didn't I just say again, across countries, across state lines, across borders, it's giving. You have affair here. So whoever runs the company, or they've got like I'm seeing an octopus. They've got their tentacles in a lot of different places. Beach is water energy. Again, emotions, worry, intuition as well. You guys, I'm telling you, I feel like this is something like, I'm not saying that the Rico stuff is not valid, but it's kind of giving like this is just the head of the snake. You haven't seen the entire body of the snake. This is just the head, because it's going to end up revealing the rest of the body of the snake. This is just the light shit is what it feels like. The Rico charge, and obviously that's not light stuff, right? But that's very serious. But it's not just that. Like, there's a whole nother layer of earth underneath that, okay? Wow. What is this, please, with Stake? Drake and Adin Ross, please. Oh, wow. Okay. We got a homicide showing up, which would obviously be getting somebody up out of here, going to the upper room, okay? Oh, wow. Now, there is definitely a rumor out there that's been going on for a long time. Y'all remember XXX Tentacion? Him and Drake had a weird thing, and people made up this theory that if anything ever happened, well, I don't want to say made it up, because it was X who said it himself. If anything ever happens to me, it was Drake, okay? Allegedly, entertainment purposes only. And I don't know why that's showing up right here in this energy right now. That's why I say it's like there is something so much more than just this gambling shit. Dismemberment and regret. Okay, what is this? Maybe a homicide too can just be putting something to an end or putting a stop to something. But no, a homicide is like when you end somebody's life, okay? What is this? Oh. Ooh-wee. Ooh, wow, look at this. And fraud. Technically with stake, again, how they do their business. They're taking people's money and they're transferring it into tokens or coins to then be used on the gambling site, which can then be transferred back into your currency, right? Real money. So fraud and family. I hate to say this, but whether or not Adin, Ross, and Drake know this, they could have gotten scammed or frauded themselves. I mentioned way earlier, with stake is kind of like the car speeding down a very dark road, and then Drake and Adin Ross are the two deer in headlights that kind of just get hit. But they voluntarily stood in the middle of the road because they wanted the fucking money. They wanted to get hit, you know? Fraud and family. And again, Drake thinking people are his family. Oh, we're cool, we're buddies. No, sir, it's business. Wow. Accomplice, partner in crime. Yep, you can't make this up. Lies. Yep, I think they got lied to. They got played. Wooded area here. Didn't I just say, like, they're kind of like two deer in headlights? You know, just two deer popping out of the woods. They fell for the manipulation and the lies from stake. So again, like I said, it's not just about Drake. It's not Adin Ross. This company behind them, stake, there's a lot of fogginess, a lot of things you can't see. You know, you look too far in the woods, you can't see past a certain point. So yeah, that's not good. A lot of this stuff is about to become unearthed is what I'm seeing here. And it has a lot more to do than just gambling and money fraud. I can promise you that. Allegedly. It's like when one lawsuit leads to the next lawsuit and then to the next lawsuit, okay? Fake to death. Looks like a chameleon. Mountains and hidden. Okay, what is this? So when I see mountains, that's like when you're trying to overcome something very difficult, possibly a really rocky terrain, or when something is very hard to get through or get over. And you have hidden here. There's a lot of stuff hidden here. Like there could be money hidden, or I just heard people. I don't know why that came through like that. People could be hidden somewhere. That's kind of weird. Like it's giving like missing people. Again, we had like abuse and neglect show up. Again, I told you I was feeling something almost immediately that I really don't want to touch into because I don't want them to like delete this video or like it get demonetized. But yeah, like traveling across state lines, overseas. It's giving like cleaning money. But even then, so you're cleaning money and still doing shit illegally. Yeah, I'm gonna hop out of this deck though. We're gonna get into some tarot, you guys. If this is making any sense to y'all, definitely leave a like on the video. It is free 99. Share if you care. Okay, this is a lot. Yeah, and you know, yeah, hidden money. Hidden money that's fake or fraudulent anyway, or trying to hide this fraudulent illegal money through a business, still again just to keep doing things illegally anyway. So it's a lot, and I see this lawsuit unearthing a lot more when it comes to, it's like following the money. You gotta follow the money. Oof, yeah, look, you got the tower at the bottom of the deck, and an impending tower moment at this time. Wow. So yeah, I will say, you know, and again, I'm not here to absolve or defend anybody, but Drake and Adin, it feels like they got played, or they got bamboozled. They were a little too starry-eyed with the money and how easy it was. Yeah, let's see. Get some tarot to close this out, you guys. Just some collective energy. Justice already. Damn, this is like the second time or the third time I've seen justice in 3 different decks. Libra energy, that goes to balance. Court, law, okay, obviously. Karma as well with the justice card, divine karma. The truth is going to come out with this. I just heard the truth shall set you free. So but it's giving more than just the truth about Rico, money, gambling. It's so much more than that. 3 of Pentacles, yep. Damn. And it's kind of giving like justice being served or called over this organization. There's obviously, you have Drake, Adin Ross, okay? 2 Pentacles and the 3rd Pentacle being stake. And again, I see someone trying to like use their connections or their collaborators in the law, in the legal field or in the justice system. But I don't think it's going to work. This is like the 3rd time I've gotten that where, you know, people are not trying to sacrifice their livelihood just because you're Adin Ross and Drake. Like, they're just not going to do that. What is this? What comes to this lawsuit, please? Stake. Drake and Adin Ross. Okay, 6 of Pentacles here. Yep. Equal give and take, reciprocity, giving people money, charity. And again, they keep showing up together. Okay, 3 of Pentacles, you got these 3 people. Here's Stake in the middle, giving out the money to Drake and Adin Ross, right? And they're just soaking it up, just taking it, taking it, taking it. Not even realizing like what's really behind this money, how Stake even made this money, if it's even legal tender for real. The world, the closing of a cycle. What is this? The Hermit. Isolation, trying to hide. The Hermit is very wise as well. Maybe someone who retreats in order to get to gain spiritual wisdom or spiritual knowledge. And also, you know, again, someone who may ghost or spend a lot of time alone. I told you these 2 are trying to like really disassociate with one another and with Stake. It's like a circle that was perfectly fine being a circle, and now all of a sudden the circle wants to separate into 3 pieces. But no, they already have you guys put together as a full circle, so y'all can separate into 3 pieces all you want. It doesn't change or anything. Okay, ooh, wow, 8 of Swords, damn. 8 of Swords, that's mentally trapped, feeling stuck, if not jail. I see them doing everything that they can to stay out of the big house, essentially, okay? And they're going to try to make it seem like, oh, we didn't know anything. Stake was working alone. They just recruited us and signed us. We had no idea, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, I get it. You didn't know all of the intricacies of what Stake was involved in, but you guys both have very strong legal counsel, and you guys were both told, I feel like, to do more homework or stay away from this, and they didn't. So, yeah, 4 of Pentacles. Looks like this person is weighing their options. You know, he's got, looks like 2 lanterns on fire. Looking at one, you have another one in the other hand. So it's literally like weighing out your options, trying to decide, should I go left? Should I go right? 4 of Pentacles can talk about stability, having a solid foundation, saving money possibly, or if holding back, being stubborn. And I told you, like, they were both told, Adin and Drake, to kind of stay away from this, but too fucking stubborn. And I feel like too fucking greedy. Too greedy. You could have everything in the world and it's still not enough. You know, and I see like looks like a lot of candles, like a lot of fire behind this guy. A fire sign could be important in this situation. Moons. I told you, there's like some kind of hidden money here. There's money hidden. bodies hidden, and all of this shit is about to be unearthed. And again, it may not be today, maybe not next week. Yeah, the star. Wow. So yeah, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next week, maybe not next month, but this is going to lead to something else. It's almost kind of like Cassie and Diddy. It's like that one civil suit led to a criminal suit, and then there are a bunch of other suits that followed afterwards. It's just like a domino effect. Okay, Two of Swords. I feel like being in denial, not paying attention, not fucking listening. Two of Swords can be a blockage as well. Maybe not wanting to see something clearly. Again, denial energy or blocking off communication. Knight of Cups. I told you, you can't make this up. Two of Swords, like they were told to block off or don't accept this offer with this Knight of Cups. It sounds too good to be true. With this Two of Cups is what it's giving. That's the partnership, the equal balance, okay? Harmonious partnerships with this Knight of Cups. And I think they made it sound real good to Drake and Adin Ross. I mean, they were just soaking in it, you know? Just for it to end up being a fucking burden with this 10 of Wands at the bottom. Can't make this up. And now I feel like with other things like Adin Ross is trying to do or build on, maybe Drake wants to do or build on, it's like it's stagnated, it's blocked right now. Or it's like their money has to go to these lawyers, or it's like they're not going to have all the expendable money that they would like to put into other things. What is this? Queen of Cups. Wow, Nine of Cups. And the Page of Pentacles. So yeah, I feel like this was a decision that was made on both of their parts, like out of emotion here. Again, not following your intuition. It's giving very selfish. Nine of Cups, Queen of Cups, in their emotions, in their feelings. Again, someone who's an intuitive, but they don't follow it. Page of Pentacles, offer this offer. And it's coming through as a breadcrumb offer because, yes, it was millions of dollars. It was a lot of money. However, it ends up being a breadcrumb offer because now a lot of that money is going to go to lawyers. And you are involved in a RICO case now. Like, hello? It's giving, was it even worth it? And with this Page of Pentacles, 10 of Wands, no, it was not worth it. It was never worth it. It's kind of what it's giving here. And it's funny because I'm getting this vibe here from Stake specifically, where they're very, whoever they work with or their lawyers, they're very savvy. It's like they're very word savvy. Because I'm getting like some type of emotional manipulation here with them. Or they're gonna try so hard, I feel like, to throw Drake and Adin under the bus. But it's like, no, these are just the Expendables. Stake, you are the head honcho here. It's almost like, you know, arresting the little drug runners, but you don't really want them. You want who their supplier is, you know? Five of Cups. Yep. Six of Swords. Should have walked away. Should have left it alone. Now that you're being forced to walk away and leave it alone. And I don't know, again, with the contracts, maybe the lawsuit has absolved the contracts, right? I'm not sure. And it's so funny because I have this makeshift deck that I use. If you guys are familiar with my channel, the one card at the top of the deck that's just standing out right now, it says signing a new contract. That's so funny. I didn't use the deck at all, but yeah, that's just sitting there. But I don't know if the contract has been absolved. However, it may be very difficult for Drake or Adin to get out of their contracts, maybe until this whole thing wraps up. But it's definitely, again, giving I should have walked away, because the Five of Cups, it's like regret, disappointment, rejection. And something here, again, just was not even fucking worth it. And they're going to have to start over and start fresh. Ace of Wands, a new beginning here. I told you, they have a lot of other things that they want to work on, that they want to do, but it's giving very stagnated, or it's going to have to be put on the back burner right now because of this situation. Yeah, selfish gain, selfish intent. Okay, Eight of Wands, travel, things moving very quickly. I'm telling you, once this suit once this suit, the ball gets rolling, stuff is about to start happening even faster after this. Like, it's like a snowball effect. I don't think there's any planets in retrograde right now, if I'm not mistaken. So stuff is about to move really quickly. Ugh, geez. And then you have the Strength card at the bottom. Okay. Trying to hold back. They're trying to do everything that they can to keep this at bay, but it's already done. Like, now you just got to go through it at this point. Eight of Pentacles, work, career, things that you focus on. Yeah, I see them trying to find other means of income. King of Pentacles, King of Cups, they're both in their feelings about this. There's a lot of people involved. I'm telling you, all these three kings here, it's not just about Drake and Adin. They're just expendables, you know? But you got a lot of very high power players involved with stake. It's giving... It's giving like casualties of war or something, casualties of gambling. It's kind of how it feels. And I see both of them really trying to have to reassess. And they both need to follow their intuition when it comes to work and new ways of making money. And I'm not saying they're going to just fall apart and just disappear off the earth because of this. However, this is affecting their money greatly. So, and whatever it is else that they're trying to do or build or work on in their own individual ways, it's being affected by this. And they both, again, it's giving they should have followed their intuition here. Just stay the course. Keep doing the hard work. Keep doing what you've been doing. Focus, planting seeds, trying to get this quick, fast money ended up not working out for you at the end of the day. So, and I'm telling you, there's something here about shit going on like overseas with traveling that has to do with money and finances. That has nothing to do with gambling that I feel like is going to be completely unearthed here. Making money, traveling, transporting people, okay? Allegedly, entertainment purposes only. But it's only a matter of time before something like this starts to snowball into something like that, okay? Allegedly. But I'm going to leave this reading here, you guys. I do hope that y'all enjoyed this. I hope y'all were able to take something from this. Definitely leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. I would love to have y'all here, part of the family. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys so much. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.